This tale is a tragedy. I make no claims of happy endings or falsehoods about loving reunions. I look you in the eye, dear viewer, and I tell you, this is a tragedy. It is an old wound that scarred over many years ago, but we rip the flesh asunder and cause the wound to fester so that you, dear listener, can know their pain, can hear their cries, can live in their despair. It is difficult to drown out determination, but I do not believe it to be impossible. Let's see how long you can keep your head above water, shall we? The circle of the decaying light. The beginning of the end. The bottom of the sea should be silent. But not now, not at this time. There are figures clad in long robes lined with gold, with green, sparkling magic at their fingertips. The other side of the conversation are beings of various forms, some communicating in a language understood by both parties, others in a way that is unknown to the common knowledge. Their voices are enthusiastic, energetic, inquisitive. There is a fascination for things that are unknown, a curiosity for what these things could do, a desire to learn, a fervor to experiment, a craving for the unknown, a greed for what they could know, for what they could have. The bottom of the sea should be silent. And to most, it is. They can't hear the screaming, the crying, the pain. But to those who listen, oh, they can hear it. It is loud, and it is angry, and it wants out. We begin with a new journey, and a new tale, and a new cast of characters. So let's get right to it. Nate, what do we see? Who do we see?
Sure. You see a kind of squat, shorter, white-haired man named Walter McClain. And he's just locking up at Mr. Presto's magic shop. It is his business and his home, but it's not particularly a business because many things he ends up giving away. So it's not all for profit. It's largely for the love of the game. And the game is magic. Not anything ethereal, really. It's more of a wondrous magic. A magic that, befuddles the eye, that sort of magic. And Walter is just locking up Mr. Presto's. And as he's turned the key and pulled it out, he turns around and there's a little lad standing there. And this eager face says, "Oh, sir, did you close down? Are you done for the day?" And Walter says, "Oh, well, I intended to be done for the day, buddy, but I intended to be done for a few months, honestly, but you can come on in." And so he unlocks the door and he says, "Be quick about it." And the boy scatters around, and Walt looks on with a glee because he sees the wonder that he has had for such a long time about magic. And the boy picks out a new deck of cards. He's given this boy a couple decks before, and he knows that card magic is the boy's preference. And this deck, it's a Svengali deck. So Svengali is a a trick of the eyes, because you riffle it one way and it looks like a normal deck. You riffle it another way and it looks like all the same card. It's a great trick. And he's excited for this boy to learn it. And the boy comes up to the cash register and he pulls out a few coins out of his pocket. And he says, "Is this enough, sir?" And Walter says, "You've got just the right amount, my boy." And as the lad runs out excited about his new purchase, Walter once again locks up and he heads toward the dock.
Tom, where do we see you right now?
Charlie, I believe, is going to be right on the dock, maybe the pier itself, right before our adventurous ride there. Pulled back hair from some product, completely clean shaven at this time. Referred to this later. He wears a mechanic's jacket. He has an emblem, a patch that has been stitched into it that writes Charlie across it, white background and the like. He's got a belt with all sorts of tools and stuff that he's had from his previous adventures and home. And he's kind of just kicking his feet, looking into the water around, looking into the submarine over towards the side. And I think he's just taking a moment to sort of look out into the ocean and looking into the future. He's very excited. His expression is excited, and also there's just that hint of worry, that nervous energy of just something new happening. And I think he's just watching. I think he's just watching and waiting and just being in this place.
What are you watching?
I'm watching the waves.
Are they calm? Are they stormy? What's happening?
They're calm. I'm almost expecting them to turn a bit more. I'm almost expecting like the shadows from the waves themselves to sort of pull through and maybe see something underneath, or another illusion that the sea always seems to permit.
Why?
The world's different than what I knew it was. A lot has changed over the last few years, and as strange as this is a golden opportunity, and I need to savor this. Because once we are where we are, life will be completely different. And that's a choice that I make.
You don't get a lot of those. Hopefully this one is a good one. Jason,
Yes.
where do we see you?
So, similar to Walter, you see somebody locking up a shop, locks the door, turns, walks away. He's tall, black hair, maybe a little bit of gray hair starting in it, thin face, dressed fairly smartly, blazer, dress shirt. And as he walks away, his preferred mode of transportation is always walking. He's got a little leather-bound book in his hand, and as he's walking, just starts jotting stuff, looking up nowhere near as frequently as he probably should to not run into something, and probably has a few close calls on the way. Makes his way down to the docks. Probably just stops and looks around for a little while to see who's there yet. Has an expectation that somebody's going to come to him. He's not going to seek out where he's supposed to go, who he's supposed to meet. He's just going to stand there jotting in his journal, and somebody's going to come and tell him where he's supposed to go, because that's just the way these things work.
And it is the way these things work. And you hear a voice beside you, and your habit of not looking up enough from the journal means that this voice is literally beside you versus calling from you by the time you hear it. Almost hand on your shoulder territory, but thinks better of it. And is like, "Dr. Quincy?"
What's that? Yes?
Hi. Yeah. You're here for the mission, right?
Yes.
I'm Angie.
Angie.
I'm the lightkeeper that oversees it.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. I won't be down there much with y'all, but I figure if there's someone to talk to make sure everything goes well. It's the doctor.
Of course, of course.
So, I'm not one for being subtle. I'll be a little blunt here. If shit goes wrong, you tell me.
Absolutely. The care of the crew is my foremost concern. The papers on their previous medical history have been prepared for me, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. If anything happens, I'll let you know immediately.
Roll a die for me. What'd you get?
3.
I got a 3. She looks at you for a second. You take a lot of notes?
Of course. I also might make sure that I don't miss something along the way. Notes are the key to good medicine.
You
that an
talk a
issue?
lot.
When there's something to be said, of course.
I assume you know the difference between phenomena, health-related issues, and regular.
I'm aware of their influence on health as a whole. I understand there's somebody that's going to be assisting me on some of the more magic-related bits where I'm not as well versed, but I do have a pretty extensive research history in both sides of that.
How long have you had that thing you're reading?
As long as I can remember, really.
You take notes in it about every patient?
Well, I've various books for different patients, but this is one of my personal journals.
You have a journal for the rest of them?
I will be creating one promptly when I have their medical records in hand, yes, of course.
You have one for you?
I assume that you would need information on everyone, myself included.
Okay. You like to talk?
When I see a need for it, yes, of course. Communication is vital.
You are good at talking, is what I should say.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
gonna ask you to stop. Thank you. I will expect reports, and I don't want all the nonsense that comes out of your mouth written to the report. Are we clear?
I will give reports as I see fit. If you have issues, I will be happy to address them.
Okay. She walks away.
I probably give a little okay and back to my work.
I love that.
Work.
And we will go to our last person today before this sub takes off on its mission. What do we see?
Florence Gallagher is closing up her flower shop for only a little bit of time, she believes. She has 2 dollies that she uses for pickups that her brother Finnegan is helping her take to the dock with about 2 crates, several crates and her personal belongings. The crates are full of seeds, stuff like tea, herbs, flowers, food, vegetables, fruit, anything she could think of. A lot of them she's like, this is a little extra, it's a little over the top, but we're only going to be there for 6 months, but an apple tree can't bloom in 6 months. It'll take, at least a year. So we won't really have time, but good to have it, I guess, because Finn made her. Finn made her take it. And he's fussing over her, and she's trying to she's insisting that she can, like push the dollies. They kind of like hitch together, and
You don't need to push one, okay? I can push both. You should just focus on whatever's happening.
I can take one too. I make deliveries as well, Finn. I can do this.
I know you make deliveries, but like you should be focusing on making sure you have the count correct and you've got enough ingredients.
I have everything. It's all here. I this is my stuff. This is my assignment, Finn.
I know.
You don't see me fussing over you, and I only fuss over you after it's done. So in 6 months you can fuss over me, okay? I'll tell you all about it.
Okay. 6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
6 months. I hug him.
Oh yeah, he gives you a big old squeeze.
Ow. Fuck. Ow. Okay, get off of me. I have to go. I'm late. I am late. Get off. Get off, Finn. Okay.
And he pulls off, and he's like, 6 months.
6 months. Easy.
I love you.
I love you too. Be safe.
I'm supposed to say that to you.
I said it first. And I attach the dolly and I scramble away.
We can see him take a moment, and he just watches you leave until he can't see you anymore. Then he goes back into the flower shop, and he flips the little sign to open from closed. Okay. That, lovely, lovely listeners and viewers, was 5 years ago. Not 6 months, like it was supposed to be. Not a year, not 2. That was 5 years ago. That assignment was to take a submersible down to the lighthouse in the vast chasm. To do the usual things that occurs at that lighthouse. Maintain the lock from here, our world, with the phenomena world. Maintain the lighthouse itself. Register other phenomena in the sea. Keep track of things. What can you grow? What resources are there? What do you realize? Etc., etc. It was a 6-month assignment to the bottom of the ocean. It's been a lot longer than 6 months. And there's no contact to anyone but Candela, and if we're speaking correctly, anyone but Angie, the lightkeeper for this mission, through the transmission room. No matter what you say or what you do, Candela is not going to answer you. They haven't for 5 years. They won't start now. It's the same routine every day, and very soon, Angie will call on the transmission radio for the morning report. Until then, we go back to where we started. What do we see your character doing, Nate?
Sure. So, I think Walter's in the library, probably. He's looking at the past logs from the missions that have come down before. And he's looking with a sense of inquiry, but also at this point a twinge of jealousy, because he knows that they're back topside, they're back with their friends and their families. And he's looking through books he's looked through before, because there's not a whole lot to do down here, as we all know. And it's not that vast a library, but he's hoping that a second covering will present something new to him, Maybe it's something that he missed the first time. He doesn't think so, but he's looking for something to illuminate what it could be they're searching for down here, what it could be that has kept them down here for so much longer than was intended.
Are you looking for something phenomena?
I reckon I'd have to be, because not only is that my specialty, I'm a historian, not professionally per se. I write about magic, the stage kind. but I'm a phenomena historian as well as a stage magic historian. I like magic with a K or without a K, I guess. And so it doesn't do me much good to read the history of the mundane world. I have to be looking for something phenomena related, I guess. Yeah.
Roll sense.
Sure. That's a 6 and a 5.
Hey.
Nice roll.
Damn.
Hey.
At disadvantage, that's wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna get out of here.
I'm coming for you.
Lock me around.
Just don't use it all yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save some.
On a book. Yeah.
Yeah.
5 is a mixed success. What is the title of the book you're looking through?
The Vast Chasm Then to Now.
Now you're gonna have to inform Rachel. What does that last word mean?
Then to now. So from the beginning of from the inception of our knowledge of it to
Oh.
the present, whenever the book was published.
Interesting. I love this. Okay. As you flip through the pages, your fingers are going numb. Oh.
Period? End of sentence?
End of sentence. Oh, no.
Okay. So, again, Walter, I'm a magic historian, and I've looked through a bunch of old books, and this is a phenomena I'm unfamiliar with. This is not an experience I've had before.
Correct.
Okay. If I run my fingers along the pages, does the numbness change severity at all? Is there a spot in the book where it's more numb, or is it just pretty consistently, if the book is in my hand, then it's numb?
Page 62.
Page 62. Hey.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll riffle through the pages, and as unnerving as that is, I think I have to follow it because of the monotony of being down here for 5 years. You jump at every opportunity you get to change things up. So I'm going to follow the numbness and flip to page 62.
Great. Roll sense.
Sure. That is less good. It's a 2.
Oh. As you open it, there are words like the rest of the book. There's an image on it. As you start to read it, you can't read it. But you can read it. You just can't read it.
So, is it that so it's a language I understand. I've understood the rest of the book.
Yep.
But the letters are scrambling. They're escaping me.
Yep.
I think I'd bring in a second opinion on this, because if I can't read it, maybe Quincy can read it.
Okay.
I'll take it to him. He's, the
You
second
can
eldest
do
among us. So
that works. You're welcome to go find him. You also, every one of you has your personal transmissions with each other.
Sure.
That only goes to each other. Which would you prefer?
I'd just give him a buzz. I'd call him on the transmission.
Go ahead.
Sure. Walt to Quincy. So I'm having a wee bit of a fumble down here in the library. I'm not dyslexic, as you know, but I see a language here that I should be able to understand, but is escaping me at this point. Is that, am I having a stroke? Is this early onset Alzheimer's? What's happening here? Over.
I probably take a little bit to answer because I'm, for one, doing something, and for two, caught off guard and confused by this message. And when I do finally, Walter, you don't need to drink everything Charles gives to you, you know. What?
He's saying it's all the above.
Let me, give me give me 2 minutes, and I'll meet you down in the library, I guess.
Excellent.
Thanks. Over.
Where do we see you?
And well, I guess I'm in my quarters, probably sitting at my desk. I probably still, I'm just putting down that same, notebook that I had from before, the same journal from the doc. But I probably have a stack of other journals now, similar to it as well, but sitting in front of me on the desk. And I rifle through them to find Walter's most recent, medical journal, and start glancing through it and make my way to the library.
Great. Okay. We're gonna go to that third voice we heard on the radio. Where do we see you?
I am more than likely in the boiler room. I have just finished putting more fuel into the boiler itself, closing the door, taking a washcloth or a rag of sorts to throw it over, placing my hand, not knowing there's all this soot and grime on the back of my neck that I should have wiped with this, but I'm just going to leave a handprint back there, and start looking through all of the gauges and temperatures so I can make sure that everything should be running smoothly.
Roll survey.
That's a 5.
Okay. Everything is exactly the way it always is. Every number is the same. Every dial is the same. Every weird-looking, old-fashioned thermometer thing is the same. Everything that you would be able to understand is the same.
At least it's a sauna in the morning, I guess. All right. I think if there's nothing else that I need to do in here, he's just going to start looking towards getting out of the boiler room and preparing for a message this morning. So a gathering place.
Okay.
Sounds like the library, so...
Fair enough. Last but not least, our young little one.
So Florence, is always a little dirty as she is constantly in the garden, or in the greenhouse. She's, just messing with the dirt. And she can hear chatter on the radio, and she doesn't, it's over, like, on her work desk where all of her, like, spades and shears and whatnot are. But she is grinding up coffee beans. To prepare the boys' coffee this morning.
Love that.
And some tea for the older gentlemen on board. And she's like perfected her mug like grip. So she didn't hear any of that. And she's just making everyone's coffee, preparing for the for morning call. And also headed to she doesn't hear anything, but she radios over and she's like, "Hi, where are we meeting today? Where I got your guys' drinks. Where are we rendezvousing? Hello, over. Sorry, over. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Well, I'm sorry. Over.
Hey, Flo. Thank you for the over, first of all. It's just proper etiquette, you know. We're all in the library at the moment. If you want to make your way here at your earliest convenience. Over.
Okie dokie, over. And I carefully, without spilling, waddle to the library.
Oh, without spilling, huh?
Yeah. Please let me have this.
You know I love to pick on you.
Oh, boy.
You could roll control for me.
I can't have shit in this house. Okay. And that's a 2.
Not the tea. Please, not the tea.
I got you.
Okay.
I'll allow it. Yeah, you begin to trip as you step into the library because there's like 2 books on the floor and you're not watching where you're going and you're going very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And the second you start to trip, you're able to grab like 2 of the drinks.
Okay. Thank you. I'm so mad. I almost burst into tears. Okay.
Beautiful. So we are all gathered in the library. Go ahead.
So, I bet you're wondering why I've gathered you all here today. I have this book here, and it's The Vast Chasm Then and Now. And I was trying to read it, and I found myself incapable of doing so. So, I promptly radioed Quincy, and I think he probably knows I'm having a stroke, and this is the end for me. So no, I don't think it's that severe, but I don't know what's happening. It makes my fingers go numb. Would you all try it and see if it makes yours go numb as well?
Well, okay, I guess. I just, without hesitation, grab the book.
Wait. From a medical point of view, we do not take that which has caused extremity numbness and pass it around like show and tell at school.
Okay.
Let's set that down here for now. You came across a passage in a language you don't understand.
Right. It's not as though it's a quote that's distinct from the rest of the book. I feel it's English. I think it's a language I should know.
How do you feel it's a language? It is, or
there's no indication.
Since you're the one who's already been exposed, would
Sure,
you please
yep,
turn
absolutely.
to the page and let's see.
62 on the dot.
By the way, I may practice medicine, but you keep us alive. Yeah, show us if you would.
Sure.
Who's looking at the page?
I guess I'm gonna peek over his shoulder while he opens to it. Is
anyone
anybody
else
gathering in?
By all means.
Okay. Roll sense. Anyone who's looking.
Sense 1. 2.
As he is flipping to the page, you can't read any of them.
Oh.
Let me have a little bit more tea here.
It's Earl Grey.
It's delicious, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Is it only Earl Grey?
It should be.
What?
You might have to pluck some things out of your garden. You're starting to get
I'm
sick.
definitely. I'm gonna do a double check on everything I have in my. Maybe some stuff went bad. Ooh.
Carefully, would somebody else just get... Nobody else touch this.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else just take a peek at this and see what's going on. You said it caused a sensation in your fingers.
A numbness, yes.
I recognize these letters. A, B, C, I mean...
D.
Yeah, what?
I can look at it.
Roll sense.
Okay.
If you're looking, roll sense. You can if you want to as well.
at this point.
1.
2.
I love this season. Oh my
Love it.
god.
One where they all forget how to read.
Yeah, really.
Remember our luck from earlier? One roll.
Oh god.
As the two of you begin to look, and you're all trying to figure out what in the hell is happening with this book, and none of you can read it, it disappears.
The book? Or...
The book disappears in your hands.
Really,
What?
Walt, trick right now.
You had us going.
That was a good one, though.
No,
that
no,
was
no.
really good.
This is not sleight of hand, friends.
I stopped my work for this. At least there's tea, but
I
come
can
on,
vanish a card. I can't vanish a tome that big. I could with.
I bet you could.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty talented. But no, I didn't though. This was none of my doing. None of my intentional doing.
Someone roll sense.
4.
The book reappears.
Oh, okay.
You are getting better.
I was great when I came down here. First of all, thank you. I haven't been working on a book disappearing trick. This is just happening to me. It's not something I'm manipulating.
I'm going to reach into my back pocket and pull out some exam gloves and pop them on.
Touch it. Touch.
And I'm going to hold the book and, turn to the page that he previously was on and showed me. And
It's a children's book. There's little pages, something you'd give to a 6-year-old to learn how to read.
this is a kid's book. Why were you researching a kid's book?
I wasn't. It was the Vast Chasm, then and now. I looked at the cover before I started it. I've seen it plenty of times as I've passed over it going for others.
I flip back to the cover to look at it.
It looks like a kid's book to you. Walter, you can see the cover start to come off the book. The creature, the character that it is to everyone else is coming out of the cover of the book.
Do any of us
Ooh.
see that?
Roll
Walt!
strike. You smacked it. Roll
I
strike.
did. I have nothing in that, so that was a 3.
You go to smack it,
Uh-huh.
and it bites you.
Ow! It bit me. The book bit me.
Do we all see this going
Nope.
on? Look, the book didn't. Paper cuts are what we call them, Walt.
Don't condescend to me, Quincy. I know what a paper cut is. I know what it feels like, and I know when there's a creature coming out of a book at me.
Did you see a creature?
No.
Did you see a creature?
Absolutely not.
I didn't see a creature. Walt, this is a safe space, but we didn't see anything.
It might be a children's book. I'm not a child.
You're-
It had
I'm
teeth
not-
and tentacles coming out of me. Not
Oh.
coming out of me, coming out of it at me.
Right. Right. The report's probably going to happen soon. After that, I want you down in my lab. I want you to take some deep breaths, relax. We're going to get a little bit of blood work done on you.
Right.
We had been working on adjusting the levels of the willow bark root that we were administering for your hypertension.
Yes.
Let's, perhaps there's another side effect going on. Let's
Drink your tea.
yes, drink your
Thank
tea,
you.
relax.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll drink the tea.
Big
Yes.
old loud buzzer for the transmission room goes off.
Oh, we gotta hurry.
All right, let's.
I'll go to the
keep
transmission
Angie
room.
waiting.
Onward.
All right. You all go in. It is looks like a piece out of the era. Standard equipment, a little old, little rusted, but not really. It looks like it's been doing its time since it was invented. You enter. The room is rather small for all 4 of you to fit, but generally speaking, Angie likes to have you all on the radio when she gives a report. So you enter, and somebody clicks the buzzer button.
Sure.
Okay. Immediately you get a... This is Lightkeeper Angie to the Vast Chasm Lighthouse.
Yes, Angie, we read you.
Put somebody else on, Quincy.
Good morning.
Hi, Flo.
Hi.
All right. Morning report. One from each of you. Let's go.
Okay, so I made coffee and tea, and we are still good on supplies in the greenhouse. Blue Tail is looking good. There was a bit of a leak last week with the they were like some of them the spores got a little out and it started to deplete some of the oxygen they were making, but I sealed it up with Charlie's help, and everything is ready to go. We are still at levels. Everything's fine there, and we still have food. Fishing, I think, is good. Meals are great. Yeah, that's what I got. How are you?
Okay, next one.
Yeah, okay.
Just pat you on the shoulder. Alright, temperatures are keeping constant. Fuel, while you're still using some, we've been able to hold back to maintain power throughout the entire place. Everything's standard. No changes in frequency.
Next.
Hey, Ange. So, it was a relatively normal morning until a book tried to eat me. Rather, I guess I've been hallucinating if you were to ask any of the other 3. But I think the bite on my finger says differently. It hurt, I'll say it. And it's been strange since then. That just happened. Quincy is handling it very professionally, and...
Walter. I don't care. Your actual report, please.
Well, I've been looking at the luck. Looks the same as it did last year. And the year before that. And the year before that. And the year before that. And the year before that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Quincy, keep it short.
Oh, absolutely, Angie. Let's see. So, Walter, of course, presented as a 67-year-old male, past medical history of hypertension. The medicines have, as you know, been long depleted. So with Florence's help, I am keeping it under control using herbs and flowers. They seem to be working well, except I do believe that there is a significant side effect, which may be to blame for what Walter was just describing. Florence, no significant medical history, knee pain, back pain, that's being treated with Wilbark tea. Charles probably has a body surface area of burns of about 15% by now. We are doing our best to keep them free of infection, treating it with the herbs as we can. I have no other significant medical history. A pain in my back. And as I have reported previously, without a resupply soon, we
That's
will
enough.
not
Thank
be
you.
able to continue supporting the safety of the crew.
Quincy, what is your job?
I am the doctor.
Great, so don't give me reports or opinions on things that are not of the doctor's purview.
Medicine is the doctor's purview, and I will report as is needed.
Okay. Candela status report is exactly the same. No change in mission status. Continue doing what you're doing. We'll check for the morning report tomorrow. Call only for emergencies. Have a sunny day.
Have you gotten anything from Finn? I asked last
Receiver
time.
clicks off.
Things Angie burning out.
I think by that point I'm already out the door because I know that's going to be a click right there. Walking along, doing my whole frustration.
Where do you go?
I will head toward the infirmary. As I said, I'd probably be expecting Walter to be not too far behind me. But
What
I'll
are
go
you
to get
doing while
prepared.
you wait for him?
I'll, like I said, so I'll have his medical history in hand as I'm walking down there. I'll probably start flipping through it and maybe look at my records of the doses of, the treatments that I've been giving him.
Cool. You enter into your lab, I guess?
Sure. Med bay.
Yeah, med bay, whatever you want to call it. What are you going to start pulling from this bay? You're looking at doses, but what exactly do you need for this scenario?
I'm going to guess now I don't even know. And so I will probably only prepare what I need for an exam. Oh, maybe I guess, I don't know, needles, vials, things like that if I was going to try to test blood or take any sort of samples.
Great.
Yeah.
Roll control.
And that's a 5.
Excellent. You go to get, anything you might need for samples, like your vials, your needles, your things like that. You grab a few, and you could have sworn you cleaned more than you have available.
Well, this'll do for now. I'll have to talk to Charles about perhaps checking the water flow through here. This should... Oh, anyways, I'll probably just wave it off as if the water pressure is not high enough. I thought I'd washed more, but it hadn't cleaned up, and just prepare what I have available, what I think I need.
Great. You
Probably
go to
just
prepare.
ignore it.
You go to prepare. The ones in your hands are dirty.
What? If somebody's been using my equipment... All right, so I'll head to...
They shatter in your hands.
What the? What?
Take a body.
Ooh.
Flo, where do you go after that? Or what do you do after your little Angie scenario?
I kind of just sit there for a second of I just got hung up on. So I'm like, okay. Well, Is your coffee good? Do you need any more?
It's good.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm gonna get some tinctures for Quincy, and I scamper back to the greenhouse, to the not in the greenhouse, but in my bay, and I'm also kind of like looking into the tea because I gave Quincy an Earl Grey, but I gave you an oolong. So I'm looking at his oolong tea, and I'm like, it's fine. It just finished drying this morning. Okay. Well, maybe it was something else. I like check the mugs if they're like dirty or
Roll survey.
Okay. 2.
Okay. The mug that you had given to Walter looks fine. So does Quincy's. Charlie's is burned.
Charlie,
Yeah,
you said your coffee was fine.
it was.
Hold on. I don't like shouting. You said your coffee was fine.
And it was fine.
It's burned. Your mug's all burnt up. Was the coffee too hot?
No, you probably just burned it and didn't realize it.
But you liked burned coffee? I can burn it next time.
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
Roll read.
1.
On a 1,
Mm-hmm.
you notice nothing.
Okay. Great. I put his mug in like a basin where I like hose stuff off to clean it.
What temperature is that basin?
Warm.
Okay.
Warm water.
Okay.
Okay.
Just checking.
Okay. I put it in and I let it soak and I turn to my tinctures and I make sure. Oh, and I have a surprise for Quincy. So I tuck that in my overall front pocket. And I put all the tinctures in like a milk carton and I put it on one of my dollies and I start to roll to Quincy's office. Knock, knock. Dr. Quincy.
Well, I was expecting Walter.
Oh,
Hello, Florence.
It's me. Sorry, I have your tinctures this morning.
Excellent. Can,
Ooh,
would
what
you
happened?
mind just setting them down? Apparently, I wasn't not paying attention and
Are you okay?
broke some vials. I'll be fine. Just would
Actually,
you-
oh my gosh, this is perfect. I have a surprise for you. Okay, your hands are out. I'm not going to put them in your hands because you're predisposed now.
Can you just turn on the tap water for me so I can rinse this blood off before we continue?
I turn on the tap water, and while you're turned away, I pull out my surprise, and I'm like, okay, when you're done washing your hands and getting all the glass out of your fingers, I have a surprise turnaround.
Yes, okay. Surprise. Yes, surprise me.
I grew cotton. So you can have like cotton swabs and you can make bandages. I grew it. It took me so long to do, and they finally grew because it was my last seed of cotton, and I have it for you.
Thank you, Florence. My goodness, I am so surprised. Let me take that from you.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Florence.
Yeah. Do you like it? Do you really like it?
It is. Do you need anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. I'm expecting Walter.
Okay.
If you would excuse us, please.
Okay.
Thank you. I truly thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll go and
Okay.
put that away.
And I leave.
As you hand it to him, you feel a piece of glass go in your finger.
Eee, ow. Okay. Yeah, I should have just put that on the table.
What's Oh, did I get? Oh, I'm sorry.
Just a
I thought
little
I got
glass.
it all out here. Oh,
Don't touch it, Quincy. You touch it and I'll give it to you.
let me get my tweezers, and I'll pause for a minute, ignore it, and go for my tweezers.
I just said, don't take it out of her finger.
You okay?
My hands are still kind of cut up and
Yeah,
sore.
I can do it.
you
I can do it. It's just
tweezers?
yeah.
There,
I got
there
it.
you
No
go.
worries. I have a steady hand, I think. And
Roll control.
Oh, okay. 3.
You get it out. But the tweezers burn you a little.
Ah, What are these?
Stab yourself. They're a little sharp, I know.
No, it like burned me. They were hot. You have hot tweezers for some reason? Is that like a sterilization thing? That makes
No,
a little bit
they've
of
been
sense.
sitting out at room temperature in my jar of alcohol solution.
Okay.
No heat at all.
Ah, okay.
I'll reach out to take the tweezers back from her. Are they hot to me?
Not to you.
They feel fine to me.
Oh. Well, heat transfer, it's all in my hand, I guess.
A lot of times, pain can manifest as different feelings of pain in the body. You probably just aren't used to having glass shards in your hand. Here, let me get you a Band-Aid, and you can... Oh, I can create one using this new cotton I have.
See? I knew you'd like it. Oh my god, thank god, okay.
I'll grab some tape or whatever and bandage up her finger.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Quincy.
Okay.
Those are all your tinctures. I think I have the checklist, so I think it's all of them. If you need any more, I'll let you fuss over Walter. I'm gonna go.
All right, I'll
Roll
look through and I'll
sense.
let you know.
Oh. 4.
Oh. As you turn away, you could swear you can hear Quincy talking to himself, even though he's talking to you. At the same time.
Did you say something?
Yes, I said thank you for the tinctures. I'll look them through and let you know if I need any adjustments.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just misheard you. It's these walls are so echoey.
course,
It's
of
hard
course.
to so.
Okay, thank you, Florence.
Yeah,
I will
bye.
see you later.
Yep.
Okay. Walter. Where are you and what are you doing?
I think as Walter leaves the transmission room, he's gonna go back and try and pick up the book from the library.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll for that?
I don't need you to roll. It's not there.
I think Walter's just gonna accept that pretty quickly, given the strange goings on of the day, and say, "Okay, well, off to Medbay."
All right. You go to Medbay. I'm moving to you.
Alrighty.
Where do you go? What do you do?
I have not left the room since then. Everyone else is kind of dispersed, and so at this point, I feel like it's just a good time to do a general check around, see if there's any new messes or any new problems that need to be fixed.
Transmission room?
I'm in the transmission room right now, yeah, but it'll be like the first of a path that I probably normally walk through this entire place, just to be like, all right, well, that panel needs to be fixed, that leak needs to be tightened, and just have myself ready. So I guess I'm looking around in the transmission room, seeing if there's anything that needs...
Transmission room is the same as always. It never usually needs fussed with. At least it hasn't in the 5 years or so you've been here. Which maybe is odd, maybe isn't. Where do you go through as you continue to walk?
I think the closest room over here, the transmission, I'm gonna guess is the garden.
Sure.
And the greenhouse, just to see what's going on around there. While there's a lot of unknown parts of it that I probably don't understand because I just don't grow things like that, there's at least some maintenance things I could do. So I think I'm gonna look around there first.
Roll survey.
I rolled 2 6s.
Let's go.
It means I'm going to give you something here in order to reward that critical success. If you step into that greenhouse, it's going to explode.
Back up. So like looking on the panelings on the inside, seeing what's in it, trying to find if there's a reaction. I like to focus if that's possible.
You may.
That is a 6.
You're well aware of the work you kind of do, and you're well aware of yourself, and you know that there's no way, shape, or form that a part of a building should just be able to explode by you walking into it, but you are you, and you're walking into a place with fertilizer. That might be open. You're walking into a place with other things that might be accessible, and there's a lot of it in here, and you are you. Don't enter the greenhouse.
Right. No, that. I'm going to leave I'll leave. I think the next place would be the med bay.
Okay. As you start going to the med bay, you're gonna see Florence leave.
Hi.
Hey.
What's up?
Nothing much. Just checked around the greenhouse. Everything looks good
Good? Okay.
from my standpoint. Are your plants doing all right?
They're okay. I don't know. Things feel weird today, right? Yeah. But I guess the plants are all right. I'm gonna try and germinate some more stuff today. See what's up.
If you need more collected water, I have some more in the boil room. So.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep. Roll read.
Ooh. 4.
Roll sense.
Oh my god. 1.
You can tell something is off. That's it.
Okay.
With
Okay.
Charlie specifically.
Are you sure you're okay? You can tell me if the coffee was bad.
Coffee's fine.
Okay.
I'm okay. We've been down here a while. Okay?
I know that, Charlie. I'm just saying, there's certain things going on, like right now.
Like what?
I don't know, the vibes are weird. You guys are all, I don't know, you're all kooky dudes, but I love you. Great, you guys are great. I want to make sure that everything's fine, and if I can help, I can help. I can fix whatever you need. So, what's up?
You're good. Love the enthusiasm. Keep it up.
Okay.
Keep being the hope, okay?
I will. I have to. Anyway,
I'll just walk away.
Okay.
We'll get to you in a second as you head towards the med bay.
Of course.
You are entering.
Hey, sorry about earlier. I didn't feel quite myself, and you know how I get about, you know, when things feel isolated, and we all just, it feels weird, right? The vibes are off. Am I wrong?
I can't say I've noticed anything, except for reports of a book biting you.
Well,
If that's a vibe, yeah, that's weird.
it's a bad vibe, very bad vibe.
But it's been the same as it's been almost every day for 5 years. But today,
Sure it has.
a book bites you. Have a seat. I don't think you're crazy
Thank you.
yet,
Oh.
but sit and let's take a look at things.
Okay.
So I'll sit him down and I'll start a physical exam.
Excellent. What do you do?
I will probably pull out my otoscope and try, start checking his otoscope eyes or ears. I don't remember, but pull out the multiple scopes and start checking out his vision, see if I can find any anomalies in the eye, look in the ear, see if everything looks clear there.
It's a normal routine, except there's a very annoying hum in your head.
Okay. Remind me later. I've got to ask Charlie to check out what that hum is from. All right, can you
know what it's from? You don't like my tunes?
stick out your tongue and say "ah," please?
Ah.
I'll probably just try to continue along as best I can without letting on that this is going on.
Walter, roll read.
Sure.
Nice.
5. Quincy's weird, but like, it's very clear that even though he's doing his job, like, something is happening where he's like every time he's doing his job.
Okay. Let's get a blood pressure on you.
Man, I'm not trying to doctor you here. I know that's your job. The vibe's not just off with me. You talked about a buzzing that Charlie needs to look at. No buzzing in here. Not to my ear.
Look,
You just checked them, and they're fine. What are you talking about? Something's up.
I'm probably just under stress. Talking to Angie always
Oh, I hate
puts
that
me in that
bitch.
mood. Yes, I do too.
I'm sorry?
We all hate her, don't we? It's not just me. She gets under your skin. You have to know what I'm talking about.
I'm not denying that Angie is a bit of a card, but...
Good. Here, hold out your left arm, roll up your sleeve.
Wrong arm.
No, that's your left arm. Yeah, okay.
Yep. That's my left arm.
You're
Unless
not
you meant
fine.
your left? That
No,
doesn't...
no. This is fine.
Okay.
This is fine. I'll continue. Blood
No
pressure
family
check.
history of hallucinations or anything like that.
No family history of being stuck underwater
you
for 5
fucking
years.
wish I was a hallucination.
Either. Give me just a moment. I'm gonna go step out into the hall. I'm assuming my quarters are probably adjacent to
Yes.
it. So I'm gonna step out in the hall and go around to my quarters and not have a full meltdown, but probably something go, I just need 5 minutes. Just let me make sure he's safe. You wanna fuck with me? Fine.
Oh.
Give me 5 minutes.
I don't know. You've taken 5 years from me. Probably longer. Why should I give you 5 minutes?
Do you have a way out of here? If you've got a way out of here, I will be topside as soon as you can get me there. Blaming me for the 5 years.
Is the right thing to do. You took the mission, Quincy.
I took a 6-month mission.
And we haven't found
5
jack
minutes.
shit, Quincy.
I wouldn't say that. I've made... All right. The progress has been minimal. I'll admit that. But let me help Walter. And then you can give me a migraine for the rest of the day. Is that a deal?
Fine. But have her put something else in that Earl Grey tea. Like spike it or something.
I'm kind of with you on that one.
Okay. Go do your little checkup bullshit.
When I'm done with Walter, we'll go see if Charlie's got any stash around.
Good. As you are heading back in, you arrive.
What's up, Doc?
Charles, what brings you to the clinic this morning?
Just doing a routine check. Sweating, you alright?
Yeah, I think I let Angie push me a little more than I should have this morning, or get to me. I'm fine.
And
Charles.
the vibes are off. Vibes are also off.
Good to know.
I don't even really know what that means, but do you need to check out the lab?
Just real quick, have you noticed anything crazy going on? Is there any leaks coming through?
Walter is in my lab complaining about a book biting him. No, I haven't noticed a crazy thing at all. Go ahead and take a look at the mechanics and, keep it down if you can.
Yeah, of course.
What do you want to do?
I'm start looking around. I'll start just checking out the place. Not just kind of filling with his tools, or at least moving his tools to get to the areas that I need to. Probably might have to go inside the cabinets, look underneath where I imagine a sink would be. Just making sure there's no kind of grime building up there or any of that stuff.
As you get under the cabinet, push a few things around, looking at sort of the plumbing and the sink, do you touch it?
Yeah.
As you touch it, it feels like it starts to crack in your hands.
Shit. Try to go grab some putty and be able to try to push it through the cracks a little bit. At least hold it in there.
The putty starts to crack too.
What the?
Water starts to drip on your face.
Too much pressure.
I'll probably be completely unaware of this going on and just remark off to the side. By the way, Charles, if it was you that touched my test tubes and dirtied them, I would ask that you please have some decorum in a medical facility, and then just continue working on with this.
I'll just kind of hit my heel on the floor a couple of times to assert that I've answered. And then any of the containers nearby, are any of them just empty?
Yeah.
I'm just taking it and put it underneath the leak to try to at least hold on to the water.
You put it underneath the leak, and the water begins to drip into the container that you have. And as it starts going in there, it begins to freeze.
Okay, so it's not just pressure. This is a leak. Okay. All right, I gotta go to the boiler. And I'll crawl myself out. All right, Doc, you're having a little bit of a leak under there. Probably just. We've been down here for so long, it's just going to show signs of this. We got a couple other places around here that are doing it. I'm going to grab a bigger bucket in case any more water comes out. I'm going to have to search the storage, see if I got any better putty, and then I will be back.
Charles, fine. Let me continue my examination here. You do what you need to do. If you have anything that's going to impact my, ability to treat, let me know. But otherwise, I know I'm in fine hands.
Charlie, can you do something about that buzz, too?
I swear to God, Walter.
Messing around for a buzz.
The buzz, Charlie.
Nope.
Don't mind him, Charles. Thank you. Proceed with what you need to do. Walter, let's proceed with what we need to do with you.
As I leave, I'm going to grab a small little glass vial of like bourbon or something like that. And if you want a buzz, here.
I will reach that before it even makes it to Walter and be like, not in my lab and put it away, but completely for the purposes of my taking later on.
It goes into your pocket.
Okay.
We're gonna follow you.
Okay.
Where are you going?
I'm going to the boiler room. I need to check if the readings have changed any bit, because if there's a little leak like that, shouldn't make much of an impact. But if there's more that I'm just now getting the notice, there should be a greater chance of it. So I'm heading back in the boiler.
You walk into the boiler room with the other engine components. It is freezing in here.
Shit. Immediately I'm gonna open the boiler door and see if like any of the fuel is like, if it's gotten wet, if there's anything that's dampening it, or if it's just lost its power.
There is it's almost like it's evaporating in the middle of an air, like how when bubbles pop.
Wait, what? Shit, I'm gonna start kind of shoveling more fuel in there.
Every piece of fuel you shove in pops.
Oh my God, why?
And the boiler starts rumbling.
I'll start looking around to see if I can get either like a focus or a survey to see what is happening to it that's causing it to evaporate
Focus.
things so quick.
I'll allow you to roll focus.
Okay. I will take the Gilded Die of 2.
Yeah, so that is a failure. As you try to focus on what is happening, you have never seen this before. Weird bubble popping of fuel that you're trying to put in here, a freezing boiler room. It is rumbling, like it feels like this entire lighthouse is shaking. A couple of things fall off and break on the floor from other parts of the engine room.
I gotta shut it off, don't I? It'll be temporary, but I can turn it back on. Alright, I'm gonna shut it off.
Roll sense. 5 is a success. You go to reach your hand to do what is essentially the emergency shut off, to shut the whole thing off. If you shut this off, this whole building is going to be this temperature.
I can turn it back on, though, right? I can't explode it. Temperature, we have codes. Let's shut it off.
You shut that off, and for about the 1 second that it is shut off, the entire building begins to go to this freezing cold temperature. The heat evaporates from the walls that you have no idea how it heats the walls. It just kind of does. Every molecule of air that is in this space begins to freeze over for the second that this is done. And you know you only have the second. And as it shut off, you can see the walls of the lighthouse begin to crack and pieces of the lighthouse begin to fall out. And there's no water entering through them as there's some sort of phenomenon barrier, but they are cracking and they are falling. And you can see it coming down.
start it going again, and I'm gonna just continue to move more fuel.
Building's fine. Nothing has cracked, nothing has fallen. Nobody else has noticed the temperature drop. And it's back to normal.
Wipe sweat from my brow. I don't know how you guys did this. We're all making it out, though, I promise. Check the gauges.
They look fine.
All right. I will head back out, make my way towards the common areas.
As you start walking, the cracks are still in the building. You can see them as you walk past. There's some in the ceiling, there's some in the walls. Nothing's fallen yet. They're here.
I think as I'm about to leave, I'll put my hand up towards a piece of it next to a crack. I want to see how much it gives to my weight.
A lot.
We gotta get out of here. And I'll leave and try to find. I'm gonna now look for where everyone's at.
I am now wandering, also headed to common areas with extra blue tail because this is my designated make sure everyone's good hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an extra fresh blue tail that I just collected to make sure everyone has their backup.
I'll go back around to my quarters with the drink in my pocket and set it out and pull out some needlepoint to start fidgeting with and sip my drink while I'm just happy now. Kind of getting to it.
Beautiful.
I think the library feels unsafe at the moment, so I'm gonna head to the spotlight.
When you get up to the spotlight, there is a big metal cage that surrounds it that no one's ever been able to access because there's some sort of magical barrier on it. For all intents and purposes, the spotlight is your lock of this lighthouse between here and the phenomenal world. So while you may be here to monitor it, and you might understand a little, it's not within your purview and no one's going to tell you how to open it, because that's not the goal. But as you are near it, it just sort of swells a little and hums very gently like it usually does. As it turns in traditional lighthouse fashion, a little slower, but in a circular motion. And our lighthouse is upside down. So this is in the ground floor of the sea, sort of dug in. But the light turns on the inside, not on the outside. So while the cage is dug into the ground, the light spins like it usually does and creates this sort of refraction that comes out in a cone shape and gets wider towards the top where the base of the lighthouse is. And it's glowing the very typical yellowish with a green hue because of how blue the water is. Like it always does.
I think I find Charlie as he's pressing on the loose bricks of panel and wall with abundance of blue tail in my little work satchel. Hi.
Hey, do you know where everyone else is at?
Last I saw Quincy and Walter, they were in Med Bay.
Okay.
Are these cracks new?
Yes, and we need to talk about it, and we need to talk about getting out of here. Hey, Doc and Walter, please answer.
Yes, Charles.
Here, over.
Hey, we have a development. This place is, I don't know if you can see around you, but something's happening. We need to get together and talk about getting out of here.
On a glance around, do I see anything obvious to me happening?
few cracks here or there, but not like...
Nothing super standing out.
No.
Okay. Charles, give me, I don't know, 5 minutes, and where do you want to meet?
Meet in our common areas where we sleep. Probably gonna have to grab whatever you want and just get over here, please.
Can I do a read on
You
this?
may. Absolutely.
Oh.
I don't even know
Yeah.
why I bothered.
Oi.
Yeah, why bother indeed? You
Yes.
hear nothing but Charlie.
Okay.
May I as well?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
It's a 5.
This is not a gimmick. Charlie is a very calm person, but when he is serious, he is serious. And you know what that sounds like.
Okay. Folks, everything seems okay up here. The light's moving a little slower, which isn't insignificant, but I don't think I see anything near as pressing as you do, so I'll meet you there ASAP. Over.
You know what? Let's go to the boiler room then so I can show you.
Does everyone have blue tail? I have more if you don't. Over.
I'm running low, but I've got enough for now. When you have time, no hurry.
Okay, I have it on me, so you're, yep. I just meet in the boiler room and I'll take care of you. Okay, bye.
All right, we go to the boiler room.
Yeah.
As you guys enter, this time it is not a case of people can see it and people can't see it. There are cracks running all the way up the side of this lighthouse in through the ceiling of the boiler room.
What? Charles, what?
Temperatures dropped, pressure rose very quickly. I'm able to hold it here for now, but I do not know how much longer this is going to be like this.
What happened? What is this just happened just now? Oh my gosh. This is really bad.
Okay, so my mechanical skill is, no offense, about as much as your medical. What has caused this? What has happened here? Sum this up for me.
I mean, it could be a number of things. The glass sea could just be putting too much pressure on the lighthouse. If this place is aging and decaying over time, it could absolutely just begin to wither away. I know, and obviously, well, I don't know anything about the phenomena of this place and all of that, but I don't know if over time that's weakened or if it's seeped in some way. It could be so many things. It could be that we're just in, I don't even know what season we're in right now. It could just be that we just have a strong winter maybe, and that's just starting to peer through, or...
This doesn't look gradual. This doesn't look as though things have been happening over time. I don't remember anything of this caliber being
Also,
up
it's
here.
August. Just so you know.
Walter, from a magic point of view, because if the mechanical side is what you're saying, not the culprit here, but the magic side that you don't know, do you have any input on this? What could be causing this?
Well, I spend the vast majority of my time looking out. I haven't seen anything out of the ordinary. I haven't read anything that would suggest that the lighthouse is susceptible to an erosion such as this. I'm not aware of any phenomena thus far in the history of this lighthouse that would suggest this is magical.
If there's a couple of manuals nearby, I can try to read them really quick, but this is severe enough. I feel like we need to prepare to get out of here.
We should call Angie.
Yeah.
This is really bad.
Oh,
Let me
Okay.
go contact Angie.
let one of us go contact Angie. Please don't contact Angie.
It's
You
just
don't get
gonna-
your blood pressure getting up again. Your vibes are weird. Let one of us do it.
Fine. Somebody contact Angie. The rest of us, I don't know what use I'm going to be right now, but tell me what I can do, and I'll do whatever I can.
Charlie, I think you should call. You're the one that saw all of this happen in the first place. You'll be able to give the most detail.
That's a good point.
I can do that. If one of you guys want to go to the library, try to find any of those manuals, I can try to look at it later. Feel free to add in where you need to. But all right, maybe Angie has something for this. And I'll walk out.
Okay. And as you walk out, and everybody else is trying to figure out what the hell to do, that's where we'll take our break. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. We love you. And we're going to go around the table, and everybody's going to tell you their name, their pronouns, and where you can find them. We'll start this way.
Hi, I'm Tom Marshall. My pronouns are he, him, and you can find me at Tom Marshall on Facebook and Tom Marshall VA on Instagram.
Hi, I'm Molly Boozell. My pronouns are she, they, and you can find me at MMBK Illustrations on TikTok.
Hi, I'm Jason McGloin, he, him, and you can find me at Jason McGloin on Facebook.
I'm Nate Marcum, he, him as well, and you can find me at Nate31464 on Instagram.
Excellent. Thank you all again for joining us. You should know where to find me because you're watching or listening to this video. But, if not, go subscribe and do all the jazz so we can make more of these. They are a labor of love, and you will never know what that means. But we will know what it means. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll tell people who subscribe. Anyways, thank you all for joining us. Goodbye!